Hell yeah. Welcome to How Can She Snap? This is a Marvel Snap podcast dedicated to the filthiest of casuals. I'm the kid, one half of the Super Snapper Rose, here with my brother from the same mother, Mr.
No big deal.
He's here, baby. He's here. And we got a brand spanking new card and a good episode for you boys and girls today. Maybe a new game mode even. We got Arishem, who's literally taken this Marvel Snap by storm. I say it every week. I actually mean it this time. He's like in 80% of the games out there. Brand new card. We're excited about him. We're going to talk about him later on in this episode as well. We're going to talk about the July cards that are coming out, Gwenpool season, our thoughts, maybe which ones we think are the best, and then we're going to get into the leaked cards in September, kind of give our initial thoughts. I don't really remember them, but there's some activate mechanics, and they look pretty fun. Let's get it! All right, no big deal. How the heck are you, man?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm pretty good. I haven't played this much Snap since like High Evo came out, so.
Bro, I know.
Yeah, just grinding Arishem games. Just only Arishem. It's all mirrors. I don't even care. It's a really fun mirror, so I don't give a shit. And it's just wild shit's happening on both sides. I mean, I win 8 cubes, lose 8 cubes. I mean, it's just been punting a bunch of rank on the ladder, but pretty good in conquest, and having a lot of fun. So just this card is just chef's kiss.
Yeah, this card is this is one of the best cards that I think they've released in a long time. You already said it, but this gives me High Evo vibes. Like, this is what it felt like when High Evo came out. It's like brand new everything. So excited to play. It's like you got a bunch of new cards that are like, like High Evo was like a bunch of new cards. It's so fun. This card is just insane. Like, you just don't know what you're gonna get. You have all the energy to play it. It's hilarious, I wonder how long these mirrors are gonna last, because
it's too much fun. Everyone's feeling the same way. It's like, why would I not play this deck? Or like, okay, so it's like 65% Arishem. I think I was looking at like a Dexter video. He looked up the stats, and I think he's 64% play rate or something, and a little over 50% cube, win rate, which is pretty interesting too. And I think then everybody else is just like no fun, like assholes who are just playing like normal Darkhawk decks, So it's either like Arishem deck, probably with Darkhawk, or an actual just like a Rock Slide, Korg, Darkhawk, Mystique, Cosmo type of deck. And those people are no fun. But that's with every card. Every card that comes out, there's the fun people, and then there's the people who put all the tech cards that counter it and play it. It's like when High Evo came out, it's like, okay, let me play some Luke Cage, like whatever deck. Right? So same shit.
Yeah, which is fine, whatever. If that's fun to them to counter, good for them. I don't really care.
I'm not mad at them, but I will call them out for being party poopers.
Yeah.
And like they're probably like
exactly.
the YouTube comments like, oh, you must be fun at parties. That's Darkhawk players right now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, straight Darkhawk players.
Not fun at parties, and they go home at 9:00,
Yeah. I love it.
And that's fine. Live your life.
Yeah, hey, live the dream. Do what makes you happy. If you want to, you go home at 9 and get some sleep. Sleep's important, I guess.
It is true.
Yeah, sleep's important, and to some people maybe winning's important too. And if they want to do that, good for you, man. But people are sneaking Darkhawk in the Arishem list too, just to cover the mirrors. Because like there's some people that are like 75%. There's some stats are like 75% play rate, like an untapped, which is like just insanity. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really played ladder in like 2.5 weeks. My rank's just been decaying. I just been like doing stupid shit in Conquest, and this card, man, is pretty damn good for Conquest. I mean, you go in the mirrors, like it's all mirrors basically. When it's not a mirror, it's pretty good. It feels really good. And when it is a mirror, it's kind of a crapshoot. But it's really good in Conquest because no one ever knows what is going to happen, basically, right? Like, this is a pretty sweet Conquest card.
Yeah.
Dude, he's just so much fun. I love him.
Yeah, he's terrifying to get snapped on. Like, if they're snapping on you and they're an Arishem player, it's like, oh my god, like, this could be the hard counter to what I'm trying to do, and I have no idea that they have it. You know what I mean? Like, if it's like, I don't know, like they just have a randomly generated like Enchantress, I'm playing like a Tribunal deck or something, and it's just like, well, shit. I put Iron Man down and he's snapping, like, fuck. It's probably, or it's just like a Red Guardian or something. It's just anything. Like, could be anything, and it's absolutely terrifying. So I've been snapping a lot with the deck for that reason, and people will retreat. It's because they don't know what you have. So it's pretty interesting.
I've been doing a lot of Silver Conquest just because I had like 40 tickets in Silver just from being an idiot in Proving Grounds the last few weeks. But basically, there's a lot of people like me that are just treating Silver Conquest like Proving Grounds. Yeah, and it's pretty hilarious because we're just snapping like, I'm never gonna blow through all my silver tickets. I don't care, but like, it's so funny. We were talking a little bit before the pod. It's like I had this one guy like he snapped on me, and then he played. It was an Arishem mirror, obviously, and it was all these are all Arishem generated cards. He played War Machine into Infinite. And then had a Dark Hawk at the end. I'm take your 8 cubes, bro. You deserve it.
Here's 80 power, like.
you've been blessed by the Arishem God himself, Like,
randomly generated 80 power on the board. Like,
what can you do?
Thank you very much. Yeah.
And we're gonna get into some decks that we've built ourselves, and that there's a lot of people that have been building decks. Like it seems like the door is like wide open on this card.
Let me quickly shout out because I did have the Infinite interaction work in my favor today. I was playing Conquest, and I had Arishem just gives you a bunch of bricks sometimes, so I didn't play any cards for like the first 3 turns, and then the third location pops up, and it's the one that was the hot location, but this was in Conquest, so it wasn't a hot location, but +5 energy, and then I top deck Infinite. So turn 4 I play Infinite, and then like turn 5 I have Arishem generated Taskmaster. So I was like, so I snapped on Taskmaster. I ended up getting like 2 cubes, but it was hilarious. It's like, oh okay, like after turn 4 I have or turn 3 or turn 4 is like 20/20 on the board. It's like okay, and the guy he was also playing Arishem, so he had like a rescue or whatever bullshit, he had generated like a Medusa or whatever the fuck he had. I'm sitting there with 20/20 on the board already. It's hilarious.
It is, dude. It is a funny card. A lot of the stuff people are doing, it seems like there's a few different ways to build it. There's like, a lot of people are putting Quinjet in, which makes all the Arishem cards cost 1 less if you draw the Quinjet, which seems to be pretty good. A lot of people are putting Loki in. Obviously, that was an obvious thing people were doing, and instead of like Loki, like there's another thing I'll say is like there's a lot of builds without Loki, and Loki even feels good not in the deck. Like it just feels sometimes good, like not having Loki. I have played versions with Loki. He does feel good in the deck, but there are some versions we'll get into that are like fun without Loki. You don't need Loki, and pretty decent as well. Then there's people that are playing a lot of tech. You can have a tech-heavy Arishem, and you hope you draw the tech, and you hope Arishem blesses you with power. And then there's one, deck, no big deal, kind of cooked up a little bit.
Oh, yeah, spicy.
Which I've actually been having the most fun with. I've actually been playing it the most because to me it's the most fun.
I can't stop. Me too. I've been playing it since the last 2 days, and or not like the last 1 day and today, and I literally want to keep going. Like I don't want to play anything else right now.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be bad, and I kind of made fun of it. I'm like, this is probably gonna be stupid.
I was gonna be bad too.
But like, it's not that bad. I'm winning a lot with it. It's probably not optimal for Arishem.
Yeah, I doubt it. Yeah,
but it's so much fucking fun. It's Arishem Thanos. You start with 30 cards in your deck.
Before we get to that, let's go back a bit. And just
I just
talk
want
about this guy.
Yeah, I just wanted to shout out the Thanos, like you just the Thanos thing, because that was awesome. That you just like, let's just do it and end up being okay.
Yeah,
go back.
Yeah. So like this art, we'll get into my spicy brew because I don't see anybody else playing it, and it's fucking sick. And I'm running people. I ran over 2 people in Gold Conquest.
I played one guy. I played one psychopath in Silver earlier today who was also playing Arishem Thanos. I was like, bro, this is amazing.
That's great. Yeah.
I haven't seen one since then. I've been playing a ton. Mm-hmm. But yeah, okay, go. What were you saying? I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, dude.
No, I just wanted to like kind of go back because we did talk about this card a little bit last week, and it's definitely how to build this deck is not how I thought we were going to be building this deck. Because like you said, I've been theory crafting it for a couple weeks ahead of time. I figured like we just randomly generate cards. We want to be playing kind of good cards on curve all the time, because we have an extra energy, so kind of just out-tempo, out-power our opponents. But I didn't realize, like, I knew Darkhawk was going to counter this deck, but I didn't realize like how much he was going to counter this deck. Like, it's like really bad. Like, and then to the point where we're at 65, 75, 85% play rate on Arishem, and like half the decks are also running Darkhawk. Like it makes sense. It's a ramp deck. Naturally, you want like 5 drops in your ramp deck. You could play them on 4 if you need to, like, but you don't have to. Like, you could do all kinds of nasty shit, like with the Darkhawk in the Arishem deck. Like it just makes a lot of sense in there. It fits the curve perfectly. So, and then obviously just hard counters the mirror, which is all we're playing. So it just makes a lot of sense to play that. So it's like there's just so much Darkhawk out there that on day 1 I showed up with my Coulson, Loki, Snowguard, Nick Fury, and like I was just getting blasted out there because there's like Darkhawk, and I'm like shit. So there's nothing I could do. So I think you were definitely onto something before the card came out, where you're saying, hey, what if we just put a bunch of tech cards in? That seems to be working pretty good for a lot of people. And you might need it at least for the first week. Like the card is out. Like we might need Shang, Rogue, like Ench. Like we might just need these cards to counter the Darkhawk. Also, Rogue does trigger Blob as well, which is kind of nice. Blob's obviously everywhere right now. I mean, absolute prime card in this Arishem deck. I mean, Blob is back. I'm really happy about that. And but if you Rogue a Blob, the Rogue does go off. The Blob keeps his power, I believe, but at least you get like a 17 power Rogue, which is like pretty sick, So
because Rogue copies the text of the card. It doesn't copy the ability; it copies the text, I believe.
Yeah.
Same with Mystique.
Yeah. Yeah, you can Mystique a Blob too. Yeah, exactly.
Mystique copies the text of an ongoing card. It doesn't copy the ongoing ability only. So if the card has an ongoing and an on-reveal, Mystique will copy both.
Yeah, and I've seen Arishem builds that are playing Rogue, Mystique, Blob, Darkhawk, all 4.
I was going to say that, but yeah.
That might be optimal, honestly. Like right now, that's probably the best thing you could be doing. If you want to climb, you probably should just play that. Because you're just good in every matchup, when you play a deck like that. But I'm trying to like have fun, do some spicy shit, and so I don't want to do that, But like I get that it's good and whatever, but I'd rather try to beat the game. And with this deck, this spicy deck we're about to go into, the old Scarishem deck. I find it like, at least in the matchups where I'm not playing against Darkhawk or Arishem, which is like 1 in 10 games, it feels really good. Like it goes, like they have no chance of winning the game. Like there's just zero. They can't do anything. It's just you're putting a 10 here, 10 here, 10 here, 10 here. Boom, 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 and they're fucked, and they can't do anything. So
I've been in the Darkhawk versions too. I mean, if they have Darkhawk Mystique, I'm not gonna win. But if they just have Darkhawk, I'll go in the other 2 lanes easily.
You can win the other 2, absolutely.
Because this deck goes tall. Like they need 2 answers to.
Yes.
They need like a Darkhawk and like a Shang, or like they can't just have one. They need both. They need 2 things. And sometimes you can even beat the Darkhawk lane because they think they're gonna win, and then nope. Like we just go taller.
Yeah, if you go Blob something else, the Blob will take 10 power off the Darkhawk on his own. So he'll go from 37 to 27, but Blob's 18. So Blob plus She-Hulk, that's like 28. And there you go. You beat the lane. Yeah.
It's great. This is the really, really fun. Like you said, optimally now is probably like with the Darkhawk, Blob, Mystique, kind of, and maybe like a tech card like Shang or Enchantress, Rogue for sure. You want Rogue. That's probably optimal right now with all these
mirrors. Fits the curve really nicely in the deck. Yeah. Like it's tricky to do Ench and like Shang's just such a catch-all right now. Like Shang just beats so much stuff right now. So I think he's just like the best one, honestly. Yeah. Out of all the tech cards to be playing if you're only gonna play one, but. Yeah, I'm liking Shang and Rogue. I think that feels like great. Yeah, in a month from now, like I don't think Darkhawk's going to be a staple in Arishem decks. I don't think he's going to be optimal because there'll be a bunch of new cards and stuff, and it won't be everyone playing Arishem. I don't think. I would just imagine like this will happen with High Evo, right? The whole first week, 2 weeks, everyone was just playing only High Evo. So it was like Luke Cage was everywhere. It was like Luke Cage stonks through the roof, man. It was countered the entire card. Yeah, we were just playing Luke Cage in the High Evo deck. Yeah, it was a no-brainer, right? Yeah. Same way you play the Darkhawk in the Arishem deck. It's the same thing, right? Yeah. So that eventually will die down. So I don't know. People are frustrated right now. Just have fun, man. Like this card's a ton of fun. I'm the opposite. I mean, look, I lost like 3K rank on the ladder just playing random collections of Arishem decks. Like I've tried like 7 different builds. Like I played the High Evo build, and like I'm not frustrated at all. Like I'm having a fucking blast. Like it's so much fun, man. Like the games are crazy. The amount of like 4 8 cube swings I've had both ways is just like it just adds so much juice to the game. Like this game was like, remember it was just Thanos for 4 months. Like oh my god. Like ironically I'm playing Thanos now, but it's a totally different kind of Thanos deck. And it's man, the games are crazy. Like you get these destroyer plays, like just like Heimdall. You get a randomly generated Heimdall. Like just there's so many cool things that can get generated. Like I had one like 4 cube win with the Heimdall. It was just I'm like, oh, this is like I can't put this in the deck because I'm playing a Thanos deck and my board's gonna be full. But it's like the dream card to get randomly generated. Like it's like they'll never expect Heimdall in this situation. So it's just perfect. Play like Heimdall Power Stone on turn 6 and just fucking rip the guy apart. It was beautiful.
Oh, dude, I love it. It's so you're right. It's so much fun, and like when people snap, it's like one of the scariest shits ever, right? Because like you have no clue what they're gonna do. Like you have no clue why they're snapping, and like you could just have a way better hand than them. Like they might just have like one like card they think is good, and it's like like a Jeff to go in like a Sanctum or something, and you're like I don't know, like. You want to just almost stay in because, like, you want to be blessed by Arishem, and hopefully he blesses you with the answers.
I've been staying in. Yeah, that's why I'm losing all my rank because I've been staying in because I'm like, I gotta see what he has. Like, I have no idea what this guy is gonna play. Yeah. And like 80% of the time, they got me crushed. So
I haven't cared less about my rank or winning more than when playing this card because, like, you're right. It's just so much fun to like. Let's just see what they have and why they snapped and what they're doing, and it's like it's fun because like you see all these weird interactions you never see, right?
Yeah.
Like when you're playing normal games without this card, it's like you play enough, like you eventually know what people are playing in their decks for the most part, other than like a random like tech card, like a surprise Ultron or something like that, So like with this card, you have no clue. Like everything's fresh, everything's new, and it's fun and it's cool to even if you lose. Like personally, I'm seeing that it's cool to see what I lost too. Like just some random off the cuff weird thing like a Heimdall. You're like, oh, I'm like, good man, that was sick. Like, that was a cool
turn
play.
4 arrow, some bullshit. Like there's just crazy shit that's going on.
Turn 4 arrow.
They got like some they play on Hope or Wave and they get like some Shuri plus something else like Shuri Gladiator or some shit. You're like, okay, well, fuck, we just got Shuri. I don't know. Like, can't beat that lane. They just got a randomly generated Shuri. So
it's hilarious.
So you want to get into the Arishem?
All right, let's do it. Let's do that.
We start there anyway.
Yeah, this is the deck that we've been playing, and we both kind of have been changing it around a little bit, but like we'll go over the core. This is no big deal. It's a Thanos Scar Arishem called Scarishem. We start out with the boy Fastos. Then we have Kyera, who's actually a pretty damn key card in this deck.
Yeah, you need her.
Yeah.
She's like once you see Kyera, like you got to snap sometimes because you have Kyera because they're playing Shang.
And because we have Kyera, I leaned in a little more heavy. We'll see. This is my version for now, today. Fastos, Kyera, Hope Summers, Mockingbird, Blob, Eliath, Sasquatch, She-Hulk, Thanos, Scar, Magneto, Arishem. This is just, I think, Sasquatch was like Blue Marvel at one point. Eliath was, who was Eliath? Who were we playing? I forget.
It wasn't a 6-drop, I don't think.
No,
we're playing 2 5s, so yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, Eliath was like a newer addition, and then so we're just like let's just lean in. Me personally, I was like, let's just lean into like more 6-drops because like we have Kyera, and like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 6-drops, and then Arishem was a 7-drop. So like these 7 6-drops, if you have Kyera, like it's a snap condition because they can't kill them.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
Yeah, and it's all base power. There's no Shadow King. There's nothing. There's no save. Or I guess Blob is the one that can get beat by Shadow King. But other than that, like there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Blue Marvel was pretty good over Sasquatch. Probably Cersei. You can probably play in here in that position. In that
for sure.
In that
one too. Cersei. Yeah.
Yeah, Cersei's probably really good as well. But like this deck is just like I'm gonna go tall. I have a bunch of energy and I'm gonna use it basically. If you skip a little bit, like She-Hulk can be played early, very early. You do get your stones, even though you have a 30-card deck. Like I don't know if this is probably just like me coping, but like I do feel like I get my stones more often than when I play a regular Thanos deck.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It's not true, but like
Yeah.
honestly, like you get them more than you think. Like they're not just buried in there, and then they just draw more like random shit from Arishem, and it's hilarious because you have so much energy that you ended up being able to play it. Fastos is just great. Like,
Yeah,
if you get him,
he's necessary in here. I think you need
Yeah.
Fastos in a Thanos Arishem deck.
yeah, he's great. I mean, you don't need him, but like he's really good.
Yeah, I guess if you don't
Mockingbird-
have him, maybe Quinjet would be the replacement. I would say, because that kind of does something similar, right? He's reducing
Yeah.
the cost. Quinjet could reduce the cost. So I think that's that would be the play, right? Like just put a Quinjet there, because Quinjet's pretty nice in Arishem. Like I've played around with it. I'm not playing it in this deck, but because I already have 6 1-drops, I don't need a 7th 1-drop in a deck with 30 card deck with 6 1-drops. You know, I don't need to add a 7th.
No,
But
exactly.
you could definitely do that, and Quinjet's like obviously really powerful in this deck. So
Yeah, I actually really like Hope too. When you draw Hope, it's really nice because like even though you have so much energy, I mean there's 7 6-drops, so like it's nice to play stones as well as 6-drops.
yes.
And other stuff like Hope is just a nice little ramp tool on top of your built-in ramp with Arishem himself, and then Mockingbird's a staple in these Arishem decks.
Yeah.
You get sad when they pull a random Mobius, whatever, it's fine. But then you can still play her on turn 4. It's just
Yeah, a lot of the time. I mean, most games, honestly, she's out before the Mobius. Just because like you're starting at 2 energy. Like, you could play an Arishem card or a stone, like whatever one you draw, and she's already reduced. But not only is she reduced, but you're also ramping. So like if you play 2 cards that reduce her, like she's for sure coming out on 3, right? So, I mean, it's really tough to deal with the Mobius. I guess this deck does. Get hurt by Mobius a decent amount because I mean you're playing Scar and She-Hulk too, right? So, but again, like they can't do anything against the ramp. So I mean they're playing a 3/3, they're gonna get really behind. So you better have Mobius and Darkhawk, or like it's gonna be like you're gonna be having a hard time because I'm playing 9 power, you're playing 3, and the next turn I'm probably playing like 10 power, and like if you don't have a Darkhawk like with your Mobius, like it's gonna be rough times for you,
Yeah, no, it's true, and like this list is this is a ton of fun. If you haven't played this kind of Arishem, give it a chance. Give it like, give it 5 to 10 games just to get like, situated with it, because like, you don't want to like play a couple games with it and then be like, I get it like a really shit draw and then think it's horrible. But like the more you play it, it's so fun throwing these big boys everywhere. And then like, dude, you get Scar. Like you get some of these big boys out early.
Yeah.
Scar is just a 2 or 0, and it's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
And like that is like something people are not ready for. Magneto's hilarious because like, with Arishem there's like a bunch of random 3-drops and 4-drops everywhere. Mm-hmm. So he just ruins lives. And you put him down on 5, it's funny. You can even have him down on, I think you could probably have him down on turn 4 as well, right? If you have Hope Summers and a stone.
Yeah, Hope, or maybe a Fastos hits your Magneto, or there's ways you can get him out. I mean, I in my version I'm running Wave. I'll say the version I'm running now is similar to this, but it's Rogue, Fastos, Kyera, Wave. I'm trying Wave just for games where I don't get the stones, because it feels like about half the time I don't see the stones. So if I get a Wave on 2, like that's great. You really don't need this. You could just win pretty easily without the stones. But like you're crushing when you got them. So I have Rogue, Fastos, Kyera, Wave. So 4 3-drops, and then Shang in there. So we got Rogue and Shang in case they Darkhawk. And then Mockingbird, Blob, She-Hulk, Thanos, Scar, Magneto, Arishem. So mine's it's a little lighter on the top end, but the Wave can, so like you could Wave out Magneto too. Like, so you could wave Magneto on turn 3. Obviously you generally don't want to do that. I almost always just play the Thanos. I love Wave on 2, and then, because Thanos is just Quicksilver, and he's protected by Soulstone and Kyera. So like a lot of like there's just most games you're gonna see either Soulstone or Kyera, because not only like is it like 1/3 a chance to see a card, which is not a lot, but we have 2 cards in there, so we're kind of doubling that. But also the Thanos stones do draw you through your deck, so a lot of the time you're gonna see either Soulstone or Kyera, and that means that this Thanos card is not like a Call Obsidian where he's just like asking to get Shang-Chi. So, like, I actually like kind of like the fact that he starts in your hand, because he is like the first kind of tempo play that gets your Scar bullshit going. And then, you could always do like a skip on 5 to, which is 6 energy, and then you get like She-Hulk, Scar, Shang-Chi, like all three in turn 6, and because 4-2-0, and like turns like that. I mean, it's so much fun.
Yeah, it's crazy. And yeah, you mentioned that Call Obsidian was who was in here originally, and that's who we took out for Eliath originally. Mm-hmm. I was just like, yeah, it's a 10 power, but like you want the Kyera protection on the 6 drops. Mm-hmm. And you went a little more tech, but I was playing other Arishem decks that had tech, and I'm like, you know what, for this one, I'm just dropping big boy after big boy after big boy and big girl, and like I was having too much fun doing that, and like just trying to beat people, like because you can only Shang one lane, right? So like
true.
You can just take all the other lanes with this deck, and it's hilarious. And sometimes people play Shang early, like if I have like a Thanos out early or like a Scar or something out early, like a She-Hulk even, they play Shang. Then I can just go over the top in that lane again, later on with like Scar, and like my other lane has like a blob, then that lane could have like a Scar and like whatever, Stones or Mockingbird. And it's like they still lose, even the lane that they shanged, which it feels great, so.
Yeah, and we definitely got to shout out Gunny T here, because this is there's like evolution, right? And then like I don't know what the opposite of it, if it's called Darwinism or like degeneration, but this is like the degeneration of the Big Dumb Idiots deck. I mean, this is Big Dumb Idiots. That's what this deck is. Like,
yeah, it's great.
Gunny T came up with this. Like, okay, like he sat down and decided, hey, like they can't Shang-Chi every lane. So if I put like a bunch, like Call Obsidian just came into the game, and if I just put a bunch of 10 drops on the board, and now Crossbone's a 10 too, Scar gets discounted. I have 5-10 drops on the board. They could Shang one lane, I still beat them. So that's kind of the ethos of Big Dumb Idiots. This takes it like to a completely like different level. Like you're throwing, because you see a bunch of 6s in the deck list here, but let's not forget, like Arishem is gonna bless you with some big boy 6s as well. Like Arishem's not afraid to give you some Big Dumb Idiots, like that you can fuck around with and find out. So it's like really 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 fun that way. So. Like I mean, all the time. Like if you get like an early Destroyer or something, like you get into some really hilarious games. Like they play a Cosmo, you throw a Destroyer on there, or depending on the location, right? Maybe it can't be destroyed or something. Like there's all kinds of like weird shit that Arishem can give you as well, and that's why I like having cards like Wave and Hope Summers in here. Because they help you just pump this stuff out really early. So like you have the early stuff to play, like all these 3 drops, which you could play all of them on 2. And you got a bunch of stones to help you draw into them. And then you're just going like, turn 3, 10 drop, turn 4, 10 drop, turn 5, 10 drop, turn 6, She-Hulk, 10 drop, or in your case, kid, you'd be like Sasquatch, She-Hulk, Kyera with priority, it's like, fuck your Shang-Chi, I just, the last game I played was a game like that, where I had priority and my turn 6 play was just like, Kyera Thanos or something, It was like a white hot room game or something like that. I just like, all right, I'll just play Thanos Kyera, and like they play Shang-Chi, and I got 4 cubes, and I was like, all right, because like she's great that way, and it's like I said, Soulstone protects the Thanos too, so the deck like runs really well, and it feels amazing in non-Darkhawk matchups, and in Darkhawk matchups you have to, like you said, kid, avoid the Darkhawk. And retreat if it's Darkhawk Mystique specifically, especially with Cosmo.
Yeah, the thing also that I noticed is that like it's kind of hard to dodge priority with this deck.
You have priority the whole time.
You can't dodge Shang-Chi. Like there's just like that's why Eliath is good in this, because like you're gonna have priority. Like if you want to try and dodge Shang-Chi, like it's almost never gonna happen, because you're just playing big idiot after big idiot with stones as well, and like it just doesn't
Mockingbird. Mockingbird's like disgusting for priority too.
That just doesn't happen. And another thing I was thinking too, like you mentioned Crossbones, like if you don't have Fastos, just throw Crossbones in here, man, because again, you're gonna have priority. Like you're gonna play the Crossbones. This is a big boy that you can just throw down.
I was thinking of cutting Cull for Crossbones even, but I was like, all right, let me not get Shang,
Yeah, exactly. No, this one, I mean, like I said, right now it's probably not the most optimal deck to play in this environment, because everyone's playing Darkhawk, and this is like really no counter to Darkhawk. If no big deal, it does have the Shang in there, but this one just I cannot recommend this enough. I couldn't put this one down. I started playing other Arishem decks, and I'm like, I play like a high evo version. And I'm like, I just love this one, man. This one's so much fun. I keep coming back to it.
Yeah, it's great. It works good. And you know what? I got to say another thing about Arishem, like I kind of wanted to mention at the beginning. I thought he was going to be more of a meme card. He's a lot better than I expected, kid. Like, I don't think he's like top tier, but he feels like a tier 2 kind of deck to me. Like, just a first impression, you know? Feels like a tier 2 deck, which is like way better than I expected. I thought like you pump your deck to 24, or in this case 30 cards, you know, and like it's just gonna be dog shit. Like, there's just no way. The math just is against you, right? But the extra energy is like really nice. Like, you could do some disgusting things with the extra energy, and like you said, you have like maximum surprise factor the entire game. So I'm very impressed. Like, yeah, I don't think this is like even like Thena came out. Like, Thena's probably a better card, you know, than Arishem, but like, man, like he feels like an actual like pretty good card to me. Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he's a pretty good card. I think it's so hard to evaluate him right now because 75% of people playing have him. Like, everyone's playing him, so it's difficult to say. But like initial thoughts, yeah, he seems like a pretty damn good card. Like you said, not top tier, not broken. I don't think he's going to need a nerf or anything like that. Like, once the dust settles in a month from now, you know, then we're going to really see what he's like. And I think he'll probably end up being like a tier 2 kind of card, like you said. But yeah, the surprise factor is always going to, you know, get him wins. The extra energy is ridiculous. I really don't think he's a meme card. I don't at all. Like, no. Like we all thought Legion was going to be a meme card. Most people anyway. But like, this guy is not a meme card. He is pretty good. And like, he's one of the most fun cards in the game, if probably the most fun card in the game, like right now.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's why his play rate's so high, because he's straight up. It's the funnest thing you could be doing right now. Let's play this.
Yeah, it's just hilarious, you know. But yeah, so I mean, this is the version we've been going with. 30 cards in the deck, you know. Is there a way to even get more, or is this the most possible?
I don't know. I didn't think of that, but you know, I've got randomly generated Thanos twice now. So I start my hand with 2 Thanos in it, but he doesn't put another 6, you know. So he's just a vanilla 10. Well, not vanilla. I mean, you could reduce his cost, you know.
Because it's at the start of the game. That's why.
Yeah, but I will say one other thing too with this deck. That's you know, everybody chirping the 30 card deck. I understand the math's against you. Playing a 30 card deck is objectively bad, but if we do quick math, 3 out of 30, okay, that's 1 in 10. You know, you take, you know, times 10 equals 30, right? 3 times 10 equals 30. So that's 10% chance. Okay? Because you only get 3 cards because Thanos is fucking Quicksilver now. So he takes up one of your draws. So every game you start with Thanos, so you draw 3 cards out of your 29 card deck. So, okay, let's call it 11% chance to draw turn 1 Mind Stone.
Yeah. Dude,
the old snap condition.
Yeah, I was gonna. This is so funny that you said this. I didn't know you were gonna say this, because this was gonna be my next point that I was gonna make. I was gonna say, Mind Stone feels so fucking good in this deck.
Oh, it's insane.
It feels insane because like, you're drawing 2 stones, you're thinning the deck, and those 2 stones, you know, if it's not Reality Stone, you know, are drawing other stones.
Yeah, it's only Reality and Power. Don't draw everything.
Yeah, they're drawing other cards for you anyway. You know, for the most part, like you're getting more cards and you're cycling. And when you cycle with this deck, it's insanity. It's like it's great. Like, even like, you know, the random bullshit. Like, it's so good. Mind Stone feels so good. I've played Mind Stone like maybe, you know, I've gotten Mind Stone a handful of times. It feels unreal to play every single time in this deck. Like, it just feels great.
I think Mind Stone Fastos opening is a turn 1 snap every time.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. Yeah, if you get like Mind Stone after Fastos or even before, like, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'd play it before.
You're getting those broken cards.
I'd play it before because you want to just play it on turn 1, and then hope, you know, your odds are you're gonna get a draw card, you know, with your Mind Stone, but then you don't play the draw card. You play Fastos on 2, and then you play, like, you know, Soulstone Power on 3. You're gonna, you know, draw 2 Fastos boosted cards. And I mean, you need to snap before you do this, because they're going to realize they lose the game on turn 3. Like, you're going to have so much shit on the board. We're going to randomly have +2. Like, it's going to be like a 5 power mines, like Power Stone on the board. Like, they're going to, you have to snap on turn 1 if you do this, because like, you're going to roll them over like really badly, you know. So It's like the old, that was the old snap condition with Thanos. I don't know if like just turn one Mind Stone is a straight up snap. I mean, like I said, there's a Darkhawk Dex can just maul you, so you got to be careful. But if it's Mind Stone Fastos, like I'm snapping every time. I don't care.
Yeah,
turn one.
Yeah. No, 100%. You have to. That's hilarious.
Or turn two, you top deck that Fastos, like snap. That's it.
Yeah, it's great.
We're rolling.
Wheels up, baby. Let's talk about some of the other Arishem decks. I mean, we won't get too much into them because like there's about 4,000 ways to build this this deck.
Also, like literally every Marvel Snap content creator has uploaded an Arishem deck at this point. Yeah, they've all uploaded either this is how you build Arishem. Like Nerf Herder just did one of like the classroom. You're in the classroom. Let me teach you about Arishem. I was watching that. That was a great video. Yeah, I watched that too. That was a good one. But like literally everybody has posted an Arishem deck at this point. That's why I wanted to spend some time on the Scarishem one because I haven't seen anybody build it that yet. And but yeah, I mean, there's like we said, there's a lot of ways you can build it for sure. And check out everybody's deck because everybody's playing this card, everybody's grinding it and like learning new ways to play.
Yeah, this is one that was interesting that I played a little bit. That was kind of fun. It's a little bit of an high Evo version. It's got Mystique, Rogue, Agent Coulson, Cyclops, Shang-Chi, Loki, High Evo, Mockingbird, Blob, Hulk, Magneto, Arishem. And I believe the way this works is that so you have High Evo and you have Arishem at the beginning of the game, right? Mm-hmm. They're both start of the game effects. I think that they can each go like Arishem could go first and then High Evo, or High Evo can do a start of a game effect and then Arishem. I think that if Arishem does his start of the game effect first and then High Evo does it after, I think if there is vanilla cards in your deck, they become High Evo cards.
Yeah.
So I think there's like a 50% chance of that happening. It should be 100%. I wish it would.
I agree. It should be 100, but it's okay. It rarely comes up anyway.
So and I could be wrong. Yeah. If it does, I think Lauren would have did the math. Like, there's like a 26% chance of you getting vanilla cards in a game. So it's not,
I thought it was
that rare.
Yeah.
No.
But then I guess you still have to draw them though. You still have to draw them.
Yeah. No, I think 26% chance of you getting one. I think.
Oh, okay, that's crazy. Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, this Evo version is kind of cool. I think there's only 2 High Evo cards like Cyclops and Hulk, but it's still pretty damn good. Mm-hmm. And I want to say one thing first before I forget. What do you think about the Arishem initial animation? Scared the shit out of me the first time.
I love it, but it's too loud. They got to just turn the volume down a little bit. Well, it's not balanced with the rest of the sound in the game. Like, so there's nothing you can do to like avoid the jump scare, because like what do I have to like change my volume every single game, like turn it down at the start and then raise it back up because now I can't hear like the game sound effects or music or whatever,
Yeah.
So I loved it at first, like the first like 3 times I'm like, this is sick, this is hilarious, like but now I'm getting annoyed by it. It's just too fucking loud.
I love it. I still love it. I love it every single time. It's like, it's so good. But it scared the absolute fuck out of me the first time.
Yeah. It's obnoxious. Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I will say too,
I love it.
I don't like his name. Like I know I mentioned this before, but like I just call him Ari, like Ari in all my like deck lists. Like this collection of letters together just does not like work for my brain and my ears. Arishem. Like, this is a dog shit name. I don't care. I'm sorry if you named your kid Arishem. Like, I'm sorry. But, like this name is fucking horrible. Like,
pour one out to the Arishems out there.
Yeah, I hope not. Like, I hope not. I hope I'm not insulting, like, if it's like a Greek mythology or something. I don't know. But, man, the Greek mythology names are sick. Like, but like Zeus and shit. Like, those are cool names. But Arishem, and I can't do it. Like, this is like the worst name in all of Marvel Snap, in my opinion. If you look at it, like you put the letters together, you sound it out, like it sounds terrible, man. I hate it. So I just call him Ari for the most part, but for the pod, I'll try to call him Arishem. I'll try to do full name, but it's begrudgingly. So I don't like this. It sounds a little loud, and his name sucks, but I don't care. It's like the funnest card, like maybe of all time. So I don't give a shit.
This card's amazing. I love it. Let's see. There is, I think I deleted all my other ones. I kept making them, man. I kept making so many.
Yeah.
I had a day one. We don't need to do Arishem decks. Like, oh yeah, Blink's a fun card in Arishem as well. If you guys like Clog, I saw Toto and Jay Macaldino. They both made a Clog. I played a couple rounds with this list. It's fun, just for like a non Arishem deck, just so we're not all on Arishem's deck this whole pod. Nebula, Titania, White Widow, Jeff, Green Goblin, Sage, Magic, Debris, Stegron, Cannonball, Doc Ock, Red Hulk. Debris is pretty damn good in this meta right now, but this is a really, really fun Clog. If you guys like Clog, I'm a fucking sucker for Clog, so this list is awesome.
Okay, if we're gonna shout out this deck, we gotta shout out Iceman. Iceman.
Oh my god, yeah. That was the next one right here. I have Iceman. All right, go ahead.
This deck is unbelievable. Like, I only played it for one day because Arishem came out the next day. But like I was absolutely crushing with this deck. So shout out to Iceman. He's like regular viewer of the show. The kid, you give the run. I know you played a bunch of games.
Yeah, okay, I played a bunch of Iceman, you're the man, dude. This is a fucking sick deck. You were crushing with it. He got into top 1,000. He got to like in the top 900 last we know. Maybe he's even higher than that. I wouldn't doubt it with this deck because this deck is insane. It's the Hood, Nebula, Ebony Maw, White Widow, Jeff, Electro, Viper, War Machine, Blink, Cersei, Red Hulk, Infinite. Now, I played a little bit of this deck. I guess I did play a little bit of ladder. I lied earlier on the pod. I played a little bit of this on ladder, and I did Conquest in it. Dude, crushing. I was crushing. Nobody was ready for this. This deck is insane. War Machine stonks. Like, if War Machine works, I don't know. He was working so well. Like, Cersei is insane for like Electro, for the Hood. You can Viper over Electro, which is hilarious because then they can't play. They can only play one card at a time.
Yeah,
and then you still keep the energy, the extra energy, which is so funny. You can Electro and then blink the Electro, and then after you blink the Electro, it's going to be a card high, like a card cost higher than Electro, which is going to be guaranteed to be your War Machine, Cersei, Red Hulk, or Infinite, which is hilarious. They're all unreal cards to get. And if you play your War Machine, you're just like off to the races, man. Especially if you've played Electro, you could just play the Infinite. You could just play then Red Hulk after that. Like it's crazy. And then you could even Cersei and then or Electro and then Cersei the Electro. So Electro has like two ways. You have three ways of getting rid of the Electro, basically.
Yes.
You have Viper, you have Blink, and you have Cersei.
Yeah.
So go ahead, no video. Sorry.
No. I was gonna echo exactly what you're saying. So it's like there's a few cards in here that kind of have like downsides, but then there's like a bunch of ways to deal with them. Like you keep your Hood, Electro, like White Widow, I would say, kind of all in the same lane. And then like you could always just like Cersei that whole lane away. It's like a Hood, Electro, White Widow. It's like, okay, boom, and you could Cersei on 4 because you just played Electro. So like you ramp out into Cersei and wipe the whole lane out, or you could Viper your Electro. Like, so you have Viper in hand, you keep Electro by himself, or you could play the Ebony Maw early, and then just War Machine into that lane later on, or you Jeff into that lane later on. So it's not like you don't even have to like worry about shutting your lane down with Ebony Maw. It's like you don't have to like, oh, I'm gonna hold it for the Infinite and Infinite Ebony Maw, whatever, right? Like with Electro, it's like that's like a cool nut combo. But you could also just fucking play Ebony Maw down, on the board. Like if you already have a Nebula or something in the lane, like you have Nebula, White Widow, you could just throw the Ebony Maw there, War Machine into it later, Jeff into it later, easy peasy. And like, nobody's ready for that shit. You could Jeff and then blink your Jeff out, like you could do stuff like, because Jeff could just play in the Ebony Maw lane and just blink him out, so now you just have like a Red Hulk in your Ebony Maw lane. You didn't have to War Machine to play the Ebony Maw after turn 3 or play anywhere or whatever, right? So all the cards kind of just like work together really nicely. Like it just feels like a kind of perfect list, like the perfect 12. You can't really change any of these cards because they all kind of like work together like really nice like harmony. So like shout out to Iceman. Like this is a absolute like masterpiece of a deck here. And just happened to be a day before fucking Arishem comes out that he
I know. I was gonna say like this deck is so much fucking fun too. Like never mind it being so good. It's fun because there's so much you can do. Like
Yeah.
And for anyone who doesn't know, I'm sure maybe you probably do know this by now, but like you can play Jeff. You can play Jeff with Electro as well. So you can play 2 cards with Electro if the second card is Jeff. Mm-hmm. So if you're on turn 6 and you have Jeff and like Blink in hand, you can play Blink and then Jeff, because Jeff doesn't care. He doesn't give a fuck about anything, basically. Yeah. So like for anyone who doesn't know that, Jeff is just great with Electro because he's a second card you can play, and people aren't ready for that. Like you can Cersei Jeff on the last turn with Electro out. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's always a good thing to do with Jeff. Mm-hmm. I wish we didn't know this deck the day before Arishem, because like, man, this deck is so much fucking fun.
Yeah, maybe like 2 weeks I'll come back to this deck or something.
I think Iceman said JJ Rolk had something like this, similar to this. Mm-hmm. And I think he might have added some stuff. I think that's what he's. I can't remember. Iceman, I'm sorry if I forget that, but listen, I'm giving you
Iceman,
the credit. I'm giving you the credit, bro.
Yeah, I would say Iceman. If someone else made it, let us know in the comments. You're probably watching this pod right now. So.
Whatever. I'm giving you the fucking credit.
This is Iceman. This is Iceman. This is Iceman machine. Ice machine. There you go. Ice machine.
I love it. Yeah, and War Machine does work in this deck, man. Mm-hmm. He does work. He's really good. So it's like it's fun. This deck is so much fucking fun.
That's true. He does feel underwhelming on release, but in this deck, he goes so hard, and you actually like kind of need him in this deck.
Yeah,
like you're looking for the I'd love to just draw War Machine here.
Yeah, if you don't have War Machine, like I don't know, this deck doesn't work at all. It's definitely a War Machine deck
for sure.
Blink is a season pass card, so I think you need Blink. Cersei would be one that people probably don't have. What would you say to use instead of Cersei if you can't do
I
Cersei?
think if you don't have Cersei, you could probably do Annihilus and maybe take something else out for Sentry, I would say. Because then you have Hood, Sentry, Annihilus, and it's kind of similar. Helps send your shit over, right? So maybe you take out like Viper or something like that for
or like Lady Deathstrike might be a good one.
Oh yeah, LDS would be sick too. Yeah,
because she's a 5/6 and she can get rid of your Electro as well if you want. If you play Hood and Electro in the same lane, you can play Lady Deathstrike.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and then if not, like worst case scenario, like just play Legion or Cannonball as well. Like you can't go wrong with those.
That's true. Yeah, those are great. And also, I would say on the topic of Legion, Legion's really nice in Arishem decks too. I know a lot of people are on that sauce right now. Just having the Legion. Like there's games where the turn 4 Legion like really, really screws your opponent because you could do like the kiln or something. There's a lot of things that are just like on turn 4, this is happening, So like if you do the kiln, you shut down everything. Even just Central Park is like the classic, nobody's ready for a turn 4 Legion Central Park. Not. Like you're playing a 5/7 on turn 4 and it basically like locks the entire board down, same with Raptors, like same thing, it's just, like two Raptors everywhere. Like nobody's ready for this shit. And Legion could cheese out like a ton of wins. There's, if they play Storm, like shit like this, they play Storm on 3, you just snap and Legion somewhere else on 4. And it's like, now you have no flooded location. Like, fuck your flood. Yeah. Fuck your flood, bitch. Like, I'm just going to play Legion on 4. So Legion is like, I was playing him in a lot of my early Arishem builds, and he was absolutely crushing. He felt really nice. So yeah, him like Lady Deathstrike are like really interesting Arishem cards as well.
Yeah, they actually are. Like again, like this Arishem, like I see people on Twitter like, oh, this deck's already figured out, and it's like, no, it's fucking not even close.
I don't even think it's close. Like, I think it's so far from being figured out.
Yeah, we just talk about like 4,000 different things that you can do, and they're all good. They're all pretty good.
Like, I think if anything, it's like so far from being figured out right now because it's like, okay, like it's just Darkhawk meta. It's just Darkhawk right now. Like, but at some point, like the Darkhawk, your Darkhawk in your Arishem deck is gonna have to play against like something else. Like you're gonna have to play against some Thena, like Kitty, like Havoc deck, and you got a fucking Darkhawk, like which is like a 5/9 against them, and you're just gonna have a brick, and you already have enough bricks in your Arishem deck, and you're gonna get rolled. So like, but nobody's playing that shit right now. So. Your Darkhawk's just 40 power every time now.
Yeah. But, your Darkhawk's a 5/9. Your Thena's a 2/10. The other Thena's a 2/10. So it's like
it's just gonna be tough sailing. So I think we're far from it being figured out. But maybe who knows? Maybe I'm just an idiot. Who knows?
No. There's not gonna be Darkhawks in Arishem. Mm-hmm. Like if there's still like 80% people playing Arishem only in a month, like unfortunately, Second Dinner will change the card. want their whole meta being Arishem only. But I don't think like people, I think some people are saying that too. Like,
just gotta let
like, how do we change Arishem? It's like, fuck off, guys. I mean, to be fair, Glenn did answer that question. He's like, we're not even looking at that now. He said we're not even looking at it. Mm-hmm. So like, he's like, if we were, like, the knobs are, he can add more. Arishem could add more cards, or they can make the cards worse that go in your deck.
Yeah, and we know they took a week off too for 4th of July, so that's why we got no OTAs or anything this week. So I mean, I think they're actually not looking at it. Like, they're just hanging out with their families right now.
Yeah, and I think it's way too soon too. Like, it just came out. Like,
I could see him changing it if the win rate gets crazy, but I mean, shit, if it's 60% and it's like 50.2% win rate, like I think you just gotta let them cook. You know, let people. That's it. Let the people cook.
Let the people have fun. This is a draft mode in a card, basically, but you don't get to choose the cards you draft.
it does have a draft mode feeling, though, eh? Like, I agree with that. I was thinking that today when I was playing. I'm like, God, I feel like I'm playing draft mode. Like, when I played Heimdall, I'm like, fuck, this is. I feel like I'm playing draft mode right now. Like, this is great.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It has the same, like, feeling, you know?
Yeah. Is when you get 2 Thanos, does the stones discount both the Thanos, like the time stone? It does, right? Yeah, that's sick. Man,
yeah,
Thanos
and they both
Arishem
can't get Shang with Soulstone.
Yeah, Thanos and Arishem is the sauce, boys and girls. That's the sauce.
Yeah, I really thought it was gonna be a meme. I thought
it was gonna be dog shit with 30 cards. Like, this is gonna be the worst. But like, when you draw stone, it's amazing.
Like, there was no synergy. It was just like the thought behind it was, let's make a 30 card deck. LOL. Like, there wasn't like a big brain reason to play the Thanos, but the draws are so good. Like, when you get the stones, like you're absolutely like running people over. It's crazy. Yeah.
All right. Let's go talk about the cards that are coming out this month. Go over them quick, and then we'll go into the new cards, the league cards in August.
Yeah, next week will be it's the new season.
I know. I don't know if it's like let's see, is it this one? No, this one. There we go.
Yeah, I'm not sure what card is coming out first next season. Just total tunnel vision on a big boy Ari right now. Unfortunately, just I don't know anything else. Yeah, I've probably played like 15 hours of Arishem, to be honest. Like, since he came out.
It's been, dude. My phone's running out of storage from all the fucking screenshots we've been sending each other.
Yeah, mine is too. Yeah, mine's at like 95%. I know. I have so many dog pictures on there too. It's honestly just dog pics and screenshots. Yeah, I think we could probably just delete all the screenshots. That's probably the way
it's
to
fine.
do it.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. So Gwenpool is the season pass card. She's a 4/6 on reveal. Pick a random card in your hand 3 times. Give +2 power each time. So there could be one card in your hand that gets +6. Like, that's always a possibility. But yeah, what do you think? Nobody did about the season pass card here.
Well, I think they changed the stats, right? Wasn't it like super busted before?
It was 4/4 and then pick 4 and then 4 times.
Okay, pick a random card in your hand 3 times. Give +2 power each time. So
before it was a 4/4,
412 total power.
Yep.
Seems kind of bad. My first impression. I'm not gonna lie.
You think so?
Well, I'm playing a 4/6, which is not great. And then I have to play the other cards to get any benefit from it. And the benefit might just be a +2, which I know from playing Fastos now, like, it's okay. I mean, it's fine. I like a 6/14 Magneto, like, it's fine. But I usually don't need the +2. So I don't know. I think you might have to do some nasty combos to make this work. Like, I don't want to say like Wong, because how the hell are you going to play Wong and Gwenpool? Like, and that just sounds bad.
Yeah,
anyway.
I think you want to maybe. Yeah, I don't know about Wong. People will do it and it'll be fun. But like, I think
you think like Brood Abs?
Yeah, like, you got to curate your deck like to have cards like that, and like
Shaw, Sebastian. That's a surfer card, basically.
Yeah, like Shaw, like it's Mr. Sinister. Like, could be a Patriot card too, because you play Brood and Sinister and stuff too. And so
Patriot Surfer, maybe. Yeah,
with Abs, like, you could do stuff like that, which would be nice. Like, you have Iron Man in your hand, like the Iron Man just gets +2, +4. Who knows? Sure. That kind of stuff could be cool. And then, you play like a low enough curve that like you play your cards out so you know which card it's going to hit in your hand. So, and you pray. Like, I think it'll be okay. It'll be interesting. Again, it'll be like a random, like you see, 4/6 is not great. But I don't know. Do you bring back Zabu for this card? Like,
can you what? Sorry?
Bring back Zabu for this card?
I mean, yeah, it'd be sick with Zabu for sure.
As an aside, actually, Glenn did say like they have plans for Zabu, but it won't be anytime soon. And he said it'll make sense later on. My guess is that they'll probably make Zabu an activate card, where like you could click them and then it'll be. We'll talk about activate when we talk about the next cards, but where you could like probably click them and that's when the on reveal works or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know. But Gwenpool, I think it's gonna be a good season pass card. Like it's not busted. I don't think it's going to be dog shit. I think it's going to be fun in some decks. It'll find
well, you brought up Surfer. I think I could see that in Surfer. It's probably going to be pretty good, like you said, because you play out your Gladiator. You play out your cards that you don't. I mean, Gladiator's kind of nice when it gets buffed too, but cards that like your Nova, whatever, like cards that you don't need to get buffed, and then there's a good chance she hits either Brood or Abs or Shaw. So like that's pretty nice, but I mean, just like on her own, like just in a vacuum, like it doesn't seem like a very good 4-drop to me.
Yeah, I don't know if they're playing like Thanos too. If it's like because they're gonna hit your cards. Is it even good in a Thanos card? There's gotta be stuff we're missing.
I don't think I want the +2. Like I don't,
but, on the stones.
It's kind of whatever in Thanos, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think I'd rather play Call Obsidian, honestly. Than this card.
Yeah. It'll be an okay card, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be dog shit. I think it'll be kind of cool. Mm-hmm. There's got to be something we're fucking missing. But anyways, like Deadpool, that kind of stuff too. Like,
yeah,
if you're going to play Destroy, like Gwenpool with Deadpool, if Deadpool's already in your hand, you can destroy one more time on turn 5.
It just seems so like I'd rather just play Hulkbuster or Forge.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
because then it's just so reliable. Like this is a 4-drop. That just sounds really hard to pull off. Like on turn 4, I want to play like. Deadpool Deathlock or something like that, yep. Or Bucky Carnage, whatever. I'm probably not playing Bucky, but like Nico Carnage or something like that.
Yeah, you're right.
Carnage Nico, whatever. So, yeah,
Galactus. Surprise!
Galactus. Oh, hey, there you go, 6/7.
That'd be sweet.
But again, though, I mean, maybe Galactus. You want to. Yeah, I mean, I would play like a Goblin or a Forge or something like that.
Maybe it hits him 3 times. Maybe it hits Galactus 3 times and he becomes a 6/11.
Oh, that's a snap. I mean, that's a snap for sure. That happens, you're snapping.
Yeah. So I think Gwenpool will be fun. I think people smarter than us will find out something to do. But I think she'll be an okay card, not a complete dog shit card anyway.
She might be like Fastos power level, where it's like, hey, like you play an Surfer. Yeah, maybe Thanos, whatever, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is good for a season pass card. It has like a couple homes where it's decent, and then it's not busted and it's not dog shit. That's what you want, and it's probably pretty fun.
I'm gonna predict that it's gonna be kind of bad. That'll be my. I'll stand on that. We'll see.
I kind of agree with you that I lean more towards not going to be great than it's going to be good. So, Hydra Bob, this card they changed, and again these are not confirmed. So, this card's a 1/4. The mouse will work. I mean, we're going over it here. After each turn, this moves if a player snapped. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if this is going to be good or complete dog shit. I think that I don't think it moves only once. I think that if you snap and play this card, I think every turn it's going to move if someone has snapped. So it can move every single turn. So it can be really good with like Craven. Yeah. And if your opponent has a Kingpin, it's going to be a miserable time for you and for them. So I tend to think that this thing, like if you play it on 1 and you snap, it's going to move like 6 times throughout the game. Yes. So is that good? I don't know. If you don't have Craven, then
then you don't snap. Then you just don't snap, right?
Yeah, you just wait for Craven for this. Like, what else is good?
If you open Hydra Craven, you snap. If you don't, then you don't snap.
Do you just play like a flood deck with like Prof X? That way he can just move into the Prof X lane. Like,
clog the other lane. You just clog the other lane. Then
yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, do you just do that? Like, I don't know. Like, what?
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
This is a card I'm not excited for. Let's just put it that way. Like, I just might just skip this week. I don't care.
Yeah, when I first read this, I thought it was a meme card. I mean, you just look at him; he looks like a meme. Like he's just like looks like he came to make some jokes and clown around. And I'm not mad at that. I mean, nothing wrong with that. Have some fun. But once you guys brought up that I think it was you and Nerfherder were saying like it's gonna move every turn, and it's like shit, yeah, you're right. Like with Craven, like that's pretty crazy. Like that's pretty nuts, right? Yeah. If you open Hydra Craven. I think you probably have to put this in the little mover deck. So I'm probably going to pick it up.
That's true because then like he moves like Miles is free. What else? What else? Does anything else happen with the move?
Not really. No.
Yeah. But yeah. No, I am gonna pick him up. Let's be honest. I have too many fucking resources. I need to pick up all these cards so we can tell the people if they're good or not.
Also, like I mean, in my deck, I mean, we were talking about it last week, but like I play Athena in the deck. Just having a 1-drop is really nice with Athena as well.
Yeah, and a 1/4 is like decent stats. Like it's not horrible.
Yeah, it's actually quite good. Because I mean, Hawkeye is a 1/4, but you have to delay it a turn. So like if you want to do like a turn 6 Hawkeye, it's always going to be a 1/1, which sucks. And then you have to play on that space. So it's just like it's a conditional 1/4. This guy's always a 1/4. This is what I'm saying. I think they could just move Misty to a 1/3. This is kind of what I was saying last week. Like I don't think it's a big deal. Some of these 1-drops are a little bit underwhelming in power. Agent 13, like she could be a 1/3. It's like not a big deal. Howard the Duck could be a 1/3.
Howard the Duck could be a 1/6. No, I'm just kidding. Watu needs help, dude. Hydra Bob, kind of interesting, but I don't know. We'll see.
He's clearly like only goes in that build though. Like if you don't have Craven in your deck, like then and you don't want to play any Craven Hydra Bob, like it's easy skip, right? Like,
yeah. The problem with Arishem being so fun and so fucking good is that like I am just like not as excited for these cards as I should be. Like I should be more excited, but like he's not going in my Arishem deck. So like
it's true, but the only deck I was playing before Arishem came out, like he actually goes in that deck. It just happens to be like what I was playing. I was having a lot of fun with the Kingpin stuff because they just changed all the Kingpin cards. So
that was great. So Ajax is the next one. He's a 5/5 currently, ongoing, +1 power for each card in play afflicted with negative power. Mm-hmm. So if you play him in affliction decks, like what can he be? Like what's his maximum output? Like he can be
max. 5, I mean, he could probably get over.
He could be a 5/17. Like, oh no, they can play only 12 cards total, right? So
no, it hits each card in play. Your own. I think it's your side too.
Yeah, so let's say he can be a 5/20. Like this is a shit card. You know why it's a shit card? Because Gilgamesh can get to a 5/20 way easier than
That's
him.
What I was gonna say. It just feels like shittier Gilgamesh is what
way shittier Gilgamesh. That can just be like Enchantress or Shang-Chi. He's an ongoing. Like this is pretty bad, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not into this card at all. I think this is a definite skip. And I mean that Beta Ray Bill variant's pretty sick too. So that's unfortunate. I do like that Beat Ray variant.
Yeah, old Beat Ray.
I think I'm just gonna save the resources on this week. I mean, it's crazy even wasting resources on Hydra Bob. Like just the thought of that, like makes me a little bit sick. Because it's probably a bad card. But
Ajax is not even good in ongoing decks, like because you're not playing Affliction in ongoing decks.
Yeah, it's just not enough. I think it has to be +2. I think that this number has to be +2 for every negative, and obviously it can't be a 5/5. But it's just the +1 is just. God, it's like, you play a Darkhawk, you play a Devil Dino, you play a Ronin, play a Gilgamesh. Like, they're just all better than this card. It's like...
Let's just do what you normally do and say, like, what are we doing? Like, Darkhawk's a 5/3.
Yeah.
Darkhawk's a 5/3. Mm-hmm. That gets +2. That ends up being like a 5/14. Mm-hmm. Ronin's a 5/5. Way better and easier to get a lot of power. And Ronin's not played that much. Devil Dino's a 5/3 and way easier to get with more power than this card. Like, what are you're gonna afflict your own cards so that Ajax can be better in one lane? What, you're gonna Mystique? Like, no, you're not gonna do that.
Yeah, it's like you gotta afflict all your own cards and then like play Luke Cage on 6. Like, that doesn't even sound good. Like, so I guess turn 6 you'd play like High Evo, Abomination, Luke Cage.
But no, he's ongoing, so then he'll lose power.
Oh my God, ongoing. Yeah, you can't even play Luke Cage.
Yeah, and if they play Luke Cage, he just sucks.
Yeah,
more than he already does.
Then he's a 5/5.
Yeah, he's got to be +2. It's got to be, honestly, it might even have to be 5/5 +2. Like, not kidding.
Yeah, I know. It just seems really bad. And I think this was a 4-drop, and they moved him to a 5 or something too. Like,
oh yeah, I think he was a 4/4.
Yeah, which also seemed bad to me. That seemed like, and that'd be a huge buff if they moved this guy to a 4/4. But even that, I think, is like probably not playable at a 4/4.
Yeah, this seems like I think they got to do something to this card, and I think the developer video came out today. I think I got a message on my phone, so I haven't seen it.
I didn't see it, yeah,
for the Deadpool season. So take this with a grain of salt. We haven't seen that, so like sometimes in that there are some changes.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that yet, so hopefully this fucking card they've changed in that video, and maybe we'll sound like a bunch of idiots like not having seen that video, and it's just these cards are all different.
Yeah, true. We're just
but we're gonna riff on this shit. I don't care.
Yeah,
he seems like dog shit. Copycat's a 3/5. When you draw this, steal the text from the bottom card of your opponent's deck. This seems like fun as fuck card. This is gonna be hilarious.
I love this. This is great.
I'm excited for this card. This seems hilarious.
Yeah,
like it's gonna be the wild fucking west out there. It's gonna be great.
This seems like just a sweet card to pick up.
Yeah, just
and
fun.
A lot of people are playing like like before this top deck before all the nerfs to it, because the deck got nerfed like crazy in the OTA 2 weeks ago, the two OTAs ago. People were playing Morph in these Havoc decks, right? And this is kind of similar to Morph. I would say it's higher floor, maybe lower ceiling Morph deck or Morph type of card. Like it's always a 3/5, which is nice. Where Morph, you don't know, like Morph could copy some piece of shit like the Hood, and he's a -3 now. So like you just don't know what Morph's gonna do. But this card's always a 3/5, and then you get to see what it is. So like Morph, you have to play to see what the hell's gonna happen, and then your opponent gets to react. And like this card, you could pull it out, and then you could like snap if it's a crazy effect, then you get to snap ahead of time. But they don't know you just pulled out like a copycat Iron Man. Like this is a 3/5 Iron Man. Like you just
like
snap,
Sarah
right?
or something.
Yes. Oh my God, 3/5 Sarah would be insane. Like you get the old Loki, 3/5, the classic.
But then like maybe you get like a 3/5 like Call Obsidian, for example, or like 3/5 like Zola. It's like it could be shit too, but it's gonna be hilarious, man.
Zola might be kind of good.
It might be hilarious. It'd be hilarious, man.
Yeah, Zola would be good, I think. But yeah, Call Obsidian would be rough. But yeah, like you get Typhoid Mary. Yeah, I mean, who's playing Typhoid Mary? But yeah.
Shuri,
I love
3/5 Shuri.
What?
3/5 Shuri.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, that's crazy.
3/5 Loki.
That's what I'm saying. You get the
old Loki. Yeah.
The classic.
No, is that everyone? I thought there was one more this season. Am I missing one? What's going on? Oh, Cassandra Nova. She's gonna be free though. She's gonna be free.
Deadpool Diner. Yeah. Well, not free. You got to grind the Deadpool Diner to get her, right?
Yeah, you can get her for free.
Yeah. Yeah, should be available for free. But yeah, you're going to have to grind the Deadpool Diner, which looks like it's really fun. Like cool game mode coming to the game. And I mean, to me, this card seems broken and unfortunate. Like this is a pretty rough Arishem card.
She's a 3/1. On reveal, steal 1 power from each card in your opponent's deck.
The day this card comes out is probably when I'll finally stop playing Arishem. Like I could deal with the Darkhawk now. Like I'm used to it. I can retreat, or either I got the counter, I got the Shanghai Rogue, or try to win the other 2 lanes. But shit, if they have Nova and Darkhawk and Mystique in their deck, it's like we're fucking lost, boys. Like this card's gonna abuse Arishem.
Man, and if it's like our Thanos deck, it's like a 330 almost. Like it's gonna be 325.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
Oh man, and you could Absorbing Man.
Even aside from Arishem, like this card seems busted to me. Like this
really?
This is a ridiculous card. Like
you think so?
I mean, maybe the way it's balanced is that it's like kind of similar to Fastos, where it's like you gotta play it on 3.
Yeah.
If you
play it on 3, like how many cards do people have in a regular deck? Like how many cards are people gonna have? 8.
You draw 4 and then 2 more. No, yeah, I guess. Yeah, turn 1, 6? So 2 more, so 6. So 12 minus 6 be 6. So yeah, you're right. 3/7.
Yeah, and then all their cards have -1, right? But like, so the 3/7 is not like amazing, right?
You get like 3/8, 3/9 value.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna be insane. I don't think she's gonna be broken. Like she's gonna destroy Arishem decks and Thanos decks. Like she's great for those, but like, I think she'll be okay. And that's if like best case you draw her on 3. If you have her on like 6, like she's gonna be a 3/4.
Yeah, that's
Like you're gonna play her. Like she's a Ravonna card, I guess you could say that.
Yeah, none of those 6 cards, like they don't get reduced, right? You play her on 6, they're not playing any of their
exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, she's brutal on 6, but she like I'm thinking she goes like you said in a Ravonna like kind of junk build. And like you have her and Sage, like who both get discounted with Ravonna. Sage is like your kind of late game play. Like you don't want to play Sage on 3, but she's still an awesome card, right?
Yeah.
But I guess you want cards to play later because you have more chance to draw them. But yeah, she's like your early. Like you could play her, then you could play Grandmaster. Like do another suck.
Yeah.
Shit like this. Like White Widow's great. With
Absorbing Man.
Yeah, absorbing. That's what I'm thinking. Like all with junk. Like you play, and then you play a bunch of junk cards around that. Like the White Widow's Grandmaster's crazy. Even just White Widow absorbing is really powerful thing to be doing. And but Carlos likes this card too.
Yeah, Carlos is loving the card in the background there. He's like a Sandra Nova fan. Yeah, I think she'll be okay. I don't think she's gonna be busted or anything. I think she's gonna be okay. She would have been good with if Ajax was a half decent card. She'd be a cool synergy with him, but he's shit. So yeah, she'll be cool in like junk. Yeah, like kind of junk decks too, because you're trying to like just fuck them up. That'd be kind of cool.
Even Ajax. I mean, that's just just look at Ajax. Like it's just so sad. Like say you play Scorpion and this card, and you have Ajax in your deck. Your Ajax is gonna be like a 5/9.
Yeah.
Like they have to play 4 cards. They have to play 4 when your cards get reduced. Usually just play the ones that didn't get reduced. And so it's like all right. Say they play 4 of these cards. Like all right, Ajax 5/9 baby. Like let's go. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, unless I'm missing something, I think Ajax is one of the most dog shit cards they've released in a while. Like they've done a good job of releasing like decent cards for the last like few months. Mm-hmm. He looks fucking brutal. He looks really bad. And one thing I just thought of: Cassandra Nova, Darkhawk decks. Korg, you're throwing rocks in, you're adding stuff to their deck. She gets more power.
True. Yeah, that's even better than the junk thing I was talking about. Yeah,
because
you could play Grandmaster absorbing in that deck as well.
Yeah. Black Widow too.
Yeah,
Black Widow prevents
them
from having. Yeah, and Black Widow prevents them from having a draw, so like she gets more power. Yeah, she'll be cool in like actual Darkhawk deck. So fuck Arishem basically is what she says in every single way.
It's over. Like, this card, this card in the Darkhawk deck, like, it's not happening for Arishem. Like, that's like a hard counter. Like, you can't do anything against that.
Just leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Give them their cubes, give them their tickets, whatever. You're done. Your Infinity Run is over.
You see a Korg, you see a Nova. It's like, all right, I'm out.
You're done.
Yeah,
get another Infinity ticket. All right, yeah, those are the cards for this month coming up, July. They'll be pretty fun. I'm pretty excited for it. The new game mode, then alliances come out at the end of the month, which will be fun. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go over the other cards quickly. I said it'll be quickly, but let's go over the other cards for August or September. Sorry, the September ones. So the season pass card data mined is the Symbiote Spider-Man, I believe. Yeah, here he is, Symbiote Spider-Man. He is a 4/6 with the ability activate. Merge your lowest cost card here with this. Copy its text like it just revealed. This seems like a fun... Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask, did you figure out what activate means?
So no one knows exactly what it means, I don't think yet, but I think the consensus right now is that you play the card, and I think you could actually tap it on the screen, and that's when you activate, and the ability will go off, we think.
Now, I wonder if you have to do that the next turn or something.
Yeah, and I think... The consensus also is that you can't do it the same turn. It doesn't make sense to do it the same turn because, like,
then it's just on reveal.
It would be too much stuff to do, like, because the card doesn't resolve once you play it. Yeah, right. Like, it has to resolve, then you can activate it. Is what we think. Like, you can't just like the card has to be played. Like, you can't just like put a card down that's unplayed and activate an unplayed card. Right? It has to actually be played. So it makes the most sense that it would have to be like the turn after kind of thing.
So with this card here, I mean, what would be the crazy combo? Because this seems like it could get insane. Like this card seems like it could get like ridiculous, right?
Well, I mean, like you could do a rock slide, right? Like put him on a rock slide lane, and like anytime you want, you can just activate it. You don't even have to activate it, but you can on turn 5 activate it. He merged with a rock slide, two more rocks, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if Electro would be good. Probably not, because like why would you do that? But Korg, like, Nico, like I don't know anything. The Hood.
Yeah, I mean you could do like White Tiger, something like that.
Well,
like,
White Tiger, you'd have to cheat out early because then how are you going to activate?
Oh,
or you have to do a magic.
Ravonna, White Tiger.
Yeah, Ravonna. Like he can do anything. Like even like a I don't know spider, even like a regular Spider-Man. Like any of the move cards, like you just move around.
I would say Namora, but yeah, she's like you said, she's a 5, so it's tricky. I'm just
Yeah, you
thinking,
can't
what are
really
like
do it
the
with
broken,
fives.
like Ironheart would be pretty sick with
Yeah.
this, because then you merge the Ironheart, go up to like a 4/9 or whatever.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that we're not thinking of, but yeah, copy its text like it just revealed. So yeah, any on reveal, Grandmaster again. If you had another card at the Grandmaster lane, but it's merge your lowest cost card here. So yeah, it'll have to be like if you have it, so it's targeted as well, so you know exactly what it's going to hit. Well, this card's going to be fun. This card's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna be
Hydra
like,
Bob.
oh god,
That way you just have a 4/10 running around if you snap.
snap with the Hydra Bob, Simba. Yeah, I think it's interesting. Yeah, maybe it won't be great. I don't know, because maybe it'll be like it ultimately ends up being a 5/6 absorbing man, right?
Yeah.
If you look at it that way, it's not great, right? But
Well,
you play it on 4.
Think about Cassandra Nova too. Like
Yeah,
you could like this Cassandra Nova drains again.
yeah.
Then you could absorbing man,
Hmm.
or you could like Taskmaster after that. Like,
But you're draining on turn 5, right? Yeah, the Taskmaster's kind of interesting.
but you're adding 6 power. He's 6 power to begin with.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're draining on 6/5. So yeah, you're doing like getting like four more power.
Yeah, unless there
So
are.
he's a 4/10. But then you can task like because it merges with your Cassandra, who's already like a 3/7 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's probably not even as good as Shuri Red Skull, but whatever. It's fun.
Mhm.
I'm just thinking of random shit off the top of my head.
Yeah, it would have to be just powerful on reveal effects. Would be how to like abuse this card, and I don't think they even have to be that low cost. I think you can like anything up to 5, and you could just click. You could activate it on 6. So you could play the symbiote down. Then on turn 5, you play the white tiger, and then on turn 6, you just click activate.
Well,
And yeah,
I was gonna say, can you? Yeah, never mind. I was like, you could play him on 4, then like Iron Man, you could just play him alone, then like Iron Man on 5,
yep.
then activate Iron Man on 6 and play like a Mystique, but that'll be the same thing anyway. You're not like,
Yeah, you don't really achieve anything. Yeah,
you're not. I was just trying to get cheeky in my head. I'm like, that's just the same fucking thing. Like, there's no point in doing that.
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It could be fun. But we go to tech cards like Red Guardian? No, because I guess he can go off again, I guess. But like, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, hey, that's something.
He's gonna be fun. There's gonna be better stuff. Like imagine like a Silk too. Like if the Silk ends up in that lane, you just activate. You got a guy running around.
Oh, you do you do vision on 5? Oh no, never mind. That's not gonna work. You need magic for that. Never mind. But like a Nocturne, you could do Nocturne, right? So you go Nocturne on 3, then you get this guy on 4, then you just have like an 11 power thing that can move around on 6.
Yeah.
They don't know where your 11 power is gonna end up. That also changes the location.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Kind of good with Nocturne.
Jeff too.
Yeah, just Jeff. Yeah.
Nightcrawler even. Nightcrawler doesn't die to what's it called?
Killmonger.
Killmonger. It's pretty cool.
Oh,
actually.
hey, Human Torch.
Yeah. I mean, and I think you when this card first came out, we only read this once for like a second when they first came out, so we don't really remember these. But like, I think it's too slow for Phoenix Force, to be honest.
Yeah, probably.
It's not. It won't. I don't think it'll work.
But just for move, it's kind of interesting. Like, it's really only it's the torch. Like, you don't need to use this on Dagger or Vulture. You don't really like accomplish anything. But maybe you do if you are playing like Taskmaster, or, like Magic or something.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they play like Living Tribunal or this kind of shit. So I mean, you could really like pump this guy. Like, this is could be like a Hulkbuster on steroids for like a Human Torch.
Yeah.
And then, so you activate it. You'd have to like Magic on 3. You already have your Torch in a lane just sitting there by himself. You play your Symbiote down, so you activate on 5. Then you have a 5/8 Torch or a 4/8 Torch that can't be Killmongered. So that's okay, I guess. And then you play like Ghost Spider into the Hercules lane. Boom, boom. So that's 16, 32. Heimdall 64.
Yeah, that'd be wild.
Whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, Tribunal on 7 or whatever. I don't know.
That'd be hilarious, dude. He might be sick with Deadpool.
Oh yeah, true. See, that's an interesting one.
You just play Deadpool on like whatever on 3 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You could play him on 4 on the Deadpool lane.
Yeah.
And then on turn 5, you click activate, and then you destroy both. And the Deadpool's like, bro, like is huge.
That's a good one because that's where it's like it's lowest cost specifically, right?
Yeah.
And so even if you have a Carnage or something like in the lane already, like it'll hit your Deadpool every time. As long as you don't have another 1-drop in there, like that's pretty sick.
Yeah, that's gonna be wild. That'll be a wild like Taskmaster Deadpool on turn 6. Yeah, that's pretty cool. He'd be cool with Deadpool.
Deck. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be more, but yeah. Anyways, this seems like a cool season pass card.
The last one you got to is really interesting, actually. That fits really good into the Deadpool deck anyway, right? Like you could just play this, you play Task and a Forge or something like already in the deck, and you're just giga popping off with that.
I know, it's wild.
Yeah.
So this is I don't even know if he's gonna be good. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's gonna be crap. But like I don't know. He seems like he's fun, and he seems like he has a lot of stuff that you can do with him, and he's gonna be fun regardless for sure. So I think it's gonna be a good season pass card.
Yeah, my brain's too small. Best thing I come up with was White Tiger.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. The first card here, Silver Sable. This seems like a pretty cool card. She's a 1/1 on reveal. Steal 2 power from the top card of your opponent's deck. So she probably becomes a 1/3 when you play her, and it takes. So she's like a 1/5 essentially, because you're taking 2 power from your opponent's card, and she's getting 2. This card is going to be fucking egregious in bounce. This is going to be ridiculous. This is going to be a broken fucking card in bounce.
2 power from the top card of your opponent's deck. Yeah, I mean this is insane. Yeah,
this is crazy.
Yeah,
and if this effect goes off more than once, like okay, she's a 1 cost, so she can even get Falcon. Like she'll be a 1/3, then a 1/5, then a 1/7, and all that time, like she gains 6 power, but you're stealing 6 power from your opponent's cards too. So she's like a 1/12 if you get her 3 times.
Well, yeah, I mean, say you just play it twice and they play one of the cards you hit. Like that's a 1/7, right? Or no, you play it twice. So yeah, they play the card. Oh, they have to play the card. That's yeah. So it might just be a 1/3, but man, -2 is pretty debilitating, honestly. And the fact that it's the top card, so like it's always going to be something that they they're getting in their hand. So this is pretty crazy.
Ajax stunks.
I'm gonna say not to derail too much, but I just thought of on the symbiote or whatever. You Groot on 3.
No, you don't.
Why not?
Because then you have to put Groot in your deck.
Yeah, but you get 2 Groots.
Then they just won't play a card there. Then.
Yeah, but what if you wait till 6, like you do a mind game? Like whoa.
Yeah, so then you get like 2 power. Wow, then your Symbiote Spider-Man's a 3 power.
Like +4. Groot's like +4.
Okay, fine. So then he's a 4/10. Your Symbiote Spider-Man.
Yeah, +4, and so you merge with a 3/7.
I'd rather play Crossbones for a 4/10.
Yeah. I mean, let's do that.
And then I don't have to put Groot in my deck.
That's true. Yeah, ultimately it's just a 4/10 in that scenario.
Listen, R.I.P. Right. Groot. I would. I'd like for him to be good.
But yeah, is Sable crazy, or is she like maybe just kind of good?
I think she's good. I don't know if she's gonna be nuts. I mean, if bounce is good at this time, she's gonna be absolutely nuts. It's gonna be a disaster.
Yeah.
If bounce is like an okay deck, then she'll be good. She'll be a really good card. I think regardless, she's be a really good card. But if bounce is like one of the top decks, she'll be just busted ass fucking card.
Yeah, I guess it's September, so we don't know. But if the meta is today, right? If this card came out today, I think it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal.
No, it'd be okay. She'd be okay in bounce, and it'd be a pretty good. It'd be a good card. It'd be a good card.
Yeah, like the bounce deck's solid. She's on reveal, so you do get the werewolf proc as well, and like you said, Beast and Falcon both go with her. So that's just like a nice addition to the bounce deck. I think it's really cool. I think this is like a well designed card. I actually like it a lot.
Yeah.
I hope they don't move her to a 2 or something.
No, I think it's good how she is. They can mess with her later if they need to.
Oh god, this is the best card in the game right here. Yeah,
Madam Web. Madam Web is a 2/3 ongoing. You can move one of your other cards away from here each turn. So this is, I don't know if it's going to be really good or just okay. Like, I don't know if it's going to be busted as fuck or just like an okay card. Like, convince me.
Okay, so remember Space Stone and then they had to nerf it?
Yeah.
This is just Space Stone every single turn.
Yeah, but Space Stone is a 1 and you could play Space Stone and then move this thing from that lane. Like, This one you have to play into her lane, and then you have to move them out of the lane, right?
Yeah,
it's like more. It's more than one step, and she's a 2, and Space Stone was a 1.
Yeah, I know that's worse for sure, but she can't get killmongered, right?
Like Space Stone was nice because you can play the Space Stone in the lane you want to move the shit out of. This is old Space Stone, by the way. For people that don't know, old Thanos Space Stone was whenever you play it, you can move a card to or from wherever it is.
Yeah,
I believe.
I think the one after that though was similar to this, right? Where it's just one move.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I think Space Stone. I think you were able to basically play it in the lane, and then from that you can move whatever card was in that lane that you want out of that lane, or something like that.
Yeah, or to the Space Stone. But either way, this is
to the Space Stone. You're right.
Yeah, so I guess it's a little different that way. I think moving out of the lane is better though. Like this feels better.
Yeah.
And you get to pick, so you can move one of your other cards. So basically, like you're turning all of your cards into Nightcrawler, basically. Yeah. And you get a Nightcrawler that wasn't actually a Nightcrawler, like once per turn, and you could turn any card in the game into Nightcrawler. I don't know. It sounds fucking insane to me.
Yeah. Like my final thought on the Space Stone thing is like, I think the old Space Stone was way better than this. 1, because it's a 1-drop. 2, you can unclog one of your lanes because you could play it in another lane and unclog one of your lanes and bring something to the Space Stone lane. That's why I was busted with Lockjaw, because you throw shit in Lockjaw, then you Space Stone, take one of the big boys in the other lane, and just throw more stuff in Lockjaw.
Right? Yeah.
This one you are kind of clogging yourself in a sense, but you can move it out. Like you have to play Madam Web, then you have to play cards in Madam Web lane, then you get to move them out. Why do you want to do that?
Okay, so
Craven?
I mean, I don't want to give the nut example, but like
do it. That's fine.
Okay, you play Human Torch on 1.
Yeah, okay.
Then you put Madam Web on top of your torch. Then you play the card Hercules, who's now a 3/4. Yeah. Okay, then you win. The game's over. You just, unless they have some counter, because like you move it out, and then when you're moving it out, you put a Silk, like your turn 4, so you play like Silk Craven, but you put Craven on the right, or you put Craven wherever the torch didn't go, basically. So then, Silk Craven. And then the next turn you play, Spider-Man, like Polaris, you put a Kingpin down. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, you're just ping-ponging these cards. Oh, you don't put those cards. You put a Vulture, you put a Dagger in here. Like, you don't have to. Good. Yeah, you don't have to do Ghost Spider. You don't have to do Iron Fist. And again, Hercules is 3. Like, this is going to be mandatory synergy with Hercules, in my opinion. Like, I think you're going to have to pair him with Hercules.
That's that's going to be nuts. Like the Dagger and Vulture, throwing them in Madam Web. Okay, now you got
me. And Torch as well.
Yeah. Now
so
you get
all 3 of those, and man, maybe I don't know. I know how you protect. You put like Kyra, Luke Cage in that deck. I don't know. You protect your Torch. I don't even know if you need to do that. Another one is Multiple Man's another one. Yeah. But you might need to forge with the Multiple Man. I don't know how good that would be. But if you could forge, like turn 4, you could go like forge Multiple Man, and then turn 5 you move the 5-power Multiple Man into the Hercules lane, and you're basically like a Phoenix Force deck. Just boom, 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 boom. So, yeah, I don't know. It sounds absolutely nutty to me. Like this is crazy. And you remember, like we always say, like, oh, we can't move to the right, like. You move to the right with this card. You play this on the left. Yeah. You move to the fucking right all you want. And you get to pick where you go, too.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of Multiple Man, he'd be good with Symbiote Spider-Man. I mean, if you Symbiote Spider-Man, that's a 4/9? Or he's going to be a 4/9. Mm-hmm. You can go Spider Doctor Strange, that shit, and get 4/9s out of that.
Yeah. And nuts. You could play that with this. Like, you play, say you play... Multiple Man on 2, then Madam Web on 3. Then you could play your Symbiote on a separate lane, move your Multiple Man to the Symbiote Spider-Man lane, and then activate on 5, and then go Spider, or go Spider Hercules or something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. You can do that with Human Torch too, right? Like.
Yeah. I
move the Human Torch to the other lane, and then move the Human Torch and then activate. The Symbiote Spider-Man's down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucked.
Yeah, Hulkbuster. I mean, you may as well play Hulkbuster in that deck.
Oh, bro. Okay, this card's gonna be fucking fun. This is gonna be fun.
I think it's broken. I think this is straight up busted to me. Like,
I don't know if it's busted. We'll see.
It's just too much.
We'll see. I can't say. I think it's gonna be really good for move. Thank God they're gonna move some more love.
Well, it is one of those where it's like, it's like it's busted, but it's in a move deck, so who cares?
Yeah. Eventually, there's gonna be a breaking point where like they get to these move cards and like they're eventually gonna just break the game with these move cards.
I think this if this card stays like this, I think it will be the breaking point.
I don't think so.
I think move will be the best deck in the game if this card stays like this. Everything stays the same. This card comes out. I think number one deck in the game is move, in my opinion.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, it's just fucking crazy. Like just the fact that I just get to Nightcrawler every card. Like I get to control where it goes. So I could move it to the Kraven. I can move it to the Hercules. Like.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. It's nutty. Even if Hercules bounces it back, I just move it out again. Like it's crazy.
You know what's funny too? Actually, you can do it if you put like a Cosmo in another lane too. Like you can have the on reveal go off in Madam Web's lane, and then like move it to the Cosmo lane to protect it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know when that'll be good, but I'm just saying like in general, you can do that kind of shit.
I was thinking about Cosmo too, but just in the opposite sense, where you have to play Cosmo in the Madam Web lane because it's going to be like Darkhawk now, where everybody just like plays Enchantress and Rogue because Madam Web's so broken. So, but she's an ongoing card, so like you could just counter her with Enchant and Rogue. So,
the good boy.
So you have to play Cosmo on the Madam Web lane.
Yeah, I mean, like if they like are using an Enchantress to Cosmo to get rid of your Madam Web, like you're pretty happy about that. I think.
Yeah, that's true. Even Rogue too. Like, wait, you got a 3/2 Madam Web, like, and you're not playing a move deck. Like, that's dog shit. So.
Yeah, that's horrible. Yeah. Like, you're not mad about that.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think she'll be really fun. I'm pretty excited for her.
Yeah. No,
now that you're saying that, okay, good. I'm glad we talked that through.
I think she's cracked, dude.
Then we have Aranya. Aranya is a 2/2 with ability Activate. Give the last card you played +2 power. And move it to the right. It seems like a pretty fucking cool card, man.
Good card with Madam Web.
This seems like a cool card. Oh, so what you're saying you can move the Madam Web? I mean,
no, you move into the Madam Web lane, and then the next turn you get to move it out.
Oh man, that's like extra Human Torch stonks.
Yeah. There's all the cards: Dagger, Human Torch, Vulture.
Human Torch is like a 1/1. No, Human Torch is a 1/2. Then he goes to a 1/4 with this. Then he moves to a 1/8 in the Madam Web lane. Then you move him out of the Madam Web lane the next turn. He's a 1/16.
Into a Hercules.
Hercules 132.
Put him back into the Madam Web lane. Move him again. Like,
if Hercules bonks him into the Madam Web lane, yeah, you're laughing.
It's 50-50. It's 50-50 chance that he does.
That's hilarious.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's so much fun.
It's too much power, man. It's going to be crap.
And this is Activate, so you can put it whenever you want. You can play Aranya on 2, and then you can hold it. And then it'll just be the last card you played +2 power and move it to the right. Like you don't have to activate the next turn. We're assuming.
That's
you can wait till turn 5 and activate if you want. And then the last card that you played gets +2 and move. Your opponent will never fucking know.
Yes. And to add to that point, because that's a really good point I didn't really think of, this card might actually be good outside of move decks for the reason you just laid out, basically. Where it's like literally any card I play here, like I just might move. It's like a vision. It's kind of like the guessing game with vision. Like, where am I gonna go? Like, you could just like put a Darkhawk on here, and then it's like, oh, maybe I'll move it to the right. You want a Shang-Chi? Like, sorry, bro. Like, boop, activate. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, let me just move that Darkhawk to the right, or I don't. Like, it's 50-50. Like, it's like fuck. It's like I got the counter to the Darkhawk. It's like no, Aranya. Aranya.
This is a card as well where I'm like, I don't know how good it's gonna be. It seems pretty good, but like it's gonna be fun for sure.
It seems crazy. I mean, just 2/4 base stat lines, right? So you always get it. It's always a 2/4. And I think a move to the right is just quite a powerful effect. I guess it would have to be something impactful. Give the last card you played. So, yeah, that's why I kind of used the Darkhawk example, because that's what you would play on 5, and then you can move it on 6 if you want to.
Yeah, they're going to have to, because they're
introducing a new...
Yeah, they're going to... Exactly. They're going to introduce a new keyword here, like, activate. They're going to have to eventually have a counter card to activate, like a deactivate card, like... Because, like... Or are they just gonna not like you can
all
just
we have is
activate
Red
whenever
Guardian.
you want?
All we have is Red Guardian right now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can. It's good with Prof X too. Is Prof X the right lane and like whatever, just fucking wheels up,
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you torch into the Prof X lane, then your torch can't die, right?
Yeah. Look, they have Miss Marvel in here too.
Pretty cool Sage variant.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, this card's gonna be fun. Fuck, all these cards look good so far in this season.
You know,
These all seem like buys.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is insane. I mean, a lot of people don't have Sage actually. You know, a lot of people skip that because it, looked like some people thought it was going to be okay. Like this would be a great week to pick up Sage. I mean, you get this Aranya. I think this Aranya card is going to have application across multiple decks. Yeah, and it'd be absolutely cracked and move, obviously. But I think you'd be able to play it in any deck where you're playing like kind of big boys. Being able to move them around. Then maybe you Heimdall at the end. Move it back. Just kidding.
That's great.
Total. You can't Shang-Chi that, but yeah. So, but you get Sage as well. So this is a pretty sweet cash. Like, and especially if you don't have Miss Marvel too. I mean, that's like 3 really good cards, right?
Yeah, and I wonder if it's going to be like. I'm really curious to see how the order is going to work. Because let's say you play Heimdall, right? Mm-hmm. What if you play Heimdall? Like you play the card Heimdall, then you activate a card. Like, is it going to do Heimdall on reveal first, then the activate's going to go off?
My guess, based on the last change that they just made, is that it's always going to be move first, and I think they'll probably keep that consistent. So
no, I'm not talking about move. I'm talking about like the ability, like any of the activate abilities versus any of the on reveals.
I'm saying it's not going to matter when you click the activate. Everything kind of resolves in the order that it normally resolves. Since this card has the word move on it, move to the right is on the card. Move to the right happens first no matter what. That would be my guess. Just because that's how everything is right now.
Okay, let's say I'm playing Magneto on 6 and I already have a Scarlet Spider there.
What's a Scarlet Spider? What do you mean? What's that?
Not Scarlet Spider. So that's the next one. The Symbiote Spider-Man or Symbiote Spider. And do I click activate and then I push and then I play Magneto. Or I play my Magneto.
Magneto's not moved, though.
I know, this is what I'm saying. Yeah. What's going to go first? Is it going to go in order of if you click activate and then the on reveal? Like, because you could play the on reveal card and then click activate, or you could click activate and then play the on reveal card, and that's different orders. Like, is the order going to be the order you do it, or is activate always going to go first, like move? You know what I mean?
That I don't know. I'm saying
that's going to be
for Aranya specifically. I think it'll always go first. But
I think if it's ordered like that, there's going to be some wild fucking combos with activate, and I'm excited for that. I hope it does.
Yeah, maybe it would be the order you click it in that case. Who knows?
That would be hilarious. That would be amazing. Anyways, Aranya looks great. And then the last one here, Scarlet Spider. Scarlet Spider is a 4/5 activate, add an exact clone of this to another location.
Like Nimrod. It's kind of like Nimrod a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Gwenpool stonks.
It's like a Black Panther type of thing. Nimrod, it's one of these where, this is going to be, even if you don't buff it, it's a 4/10. Like that can't be Shang-Chi. This card's sick. What the hell?
This card's pretty good.
This card's insane. Like insane. It's like really good though. Yeah.
This card seems really good, and if you buff it even a little bit,
this is cracked. If you forge,
if you buff it even a little bit, it's great. And then
just to put it.
And you don't have to activate it. You can activate it on the last turn. That way, you can clog some of the other lanes, and you choose which lane you want it to do. And it looks like it has to be another location. So if you're clogged, it looks like it won't go in the same location that it's already in.
Did you say Gwenpool stonks when you first read it?
I did.
Yeah. Sorry, I just caught that now. Yeah, you're right. Actually, this would be sick with Gwenpool. Yeah, Gwenpool on 4, then you drop this bad boy on 5. I mean, shit, if he's a 4/9, like, if it happens to hit your spider twice, like, Jesus Christ, wheels up, baby. That's a snap.
Yeah. And then, this fucking White Widow variant's insane. The Scar variant's pretty sick, fucking cool.
I don't have a Scar variant.
I mean, this seems like a good week to open if they keep it this way. They usually change them before September. Like, but White Widow, Scarlet, and Scar seem like a pretty good week.
I was thinking that too. I'm definitely jaded because I look at, Sage, Miss Marvel, Aranya. I'm like, there's no way they let that go through. They got to put Null in there. Like, fuck, like these cards are too good and like people don't have them. Like they're not going to give them away. It's going to be Null again.
I mean, they should. Sage is like 4 months later, 5 months later. So
they should, and I definitely hope they do. Like if they keep it like this, I mean, this is great. Both these catches are phenomenal.
Well, the thing that I was saying before is like I'm so surprised that Ajax looks like complete fucking dog shit. Again, maybe the developer video, maybe he's like better. Like I'm sorry if he is, and we've just been shitting on him.
Yeah,
but,
we might be missing
the last few months. Like they've been printing bangers, like every single card. Like Sage, like last few months, like they're all just good cards. Like
this
so it's hard to get it's hard to get shit cards now in the spotlight caches because they're all good. Like look, Eliath Silk, decent cards. Mockingbirds in the first one.
Oh,
with Silver Sable, like they're all just fucking amazing cards. Like,
yeah, this is a good month for new players. You know, like if you're new and you're struggling, like definitely wait till September. You know, and save up your keys because you pick up Mockingbird, White Widow's a staple card too. Like Mockingbird, White Widow Scar is awesome. Like Sage is great. Like these are all really good cards. All 6K. You know, Series 5 cards
this month, and all these cards seem like fun fucking cards. You know, they seem like great cards. Like there's no Ajax in here. Like they seem like good cards.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it, man. No big deal, man. What do you got to say to the people, bro?
It's Arishem. You know, it's the day of the Arishem. You know, embrace the chaos. Yes, there's Darkhawks out there. You know, there's counters to every deck. You know, and you know, maybe we can't play once Cassandra Nova comes out, but right now it's Arishem time. It's wheels up. 24 cards, 30 cards. Fuck the math. Fuck the spreadsheets. We're having fun. We're slamming big boys down and crushing Marvel Snap. It's been an absolute blast. Played a ton of Snap this week, and I hope everybody else is having as much fun as we are.
Arishem, baby. How can I chase Snap? Peace.